I'm Eric.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is Horrorscope, a podcast for people who love horror movies.
And people who want to love them. So not only did I switch the movie on you last minute, you switched into a shirt.
Well, okay.
For Suspiria. Eric is always ready, always on his toes. This was not a test. I just didn't want to watch Annabelle.
Which is fair. When you said you wanted to watch Annabelle, I was like, okay, this is fine. Well, I figured we were going to have to watch Annabelle because, like, you got to get through the Conjuring universe.
I do want to watch it eventually. I just was like, I want to watch a good movie.
I get it.
I watched the trailer and I was like, oh no. Like, oh no. I don't want to watch that. So we landed on Suspiria.
We did.
And I'm really excited.
All right.
Yeah. You love this movie, right? You were in a shirt. One more time wearing a shirt. Yeah.
I am wearing the shirt. It actually is a concert shirt.
Oh my god. Wait, I was just about to say, how does that work?
So I got
They murder people right in front of you.
See actual murder in front of me. Yeah.
Oh.
No, so I do really like Suspiria. I think it's a great movie. It's a great looking movie. Not all movies need to make sense, so maybe this is a good pairing with Lighthouse.
Yeah. Keep that energy going.
It's just got a lot going for it. It's a giallo movie.
Okay.
Which is like an Italian horror movie.
Is that the name of the person? That's a genre.
That is a genre.
Ooh.
And this is kind of like one of the more famous ones of it. I think it's because it's like really stylized, and it's also got like a supernatural element to it. It's got a really good score to it. Which is why when I saw it live, it was the band Goblin, which is like an Italian prog rock band.
Yes.
That does the score for all the movies.
Yes.
And the guy performed live while the movie was playing.
Oh my god. That must have been so cool. Was that last year?
Yeah. Well,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so it was great. So that experience was wonderful because one, it's the main dude, Claudio Simonetti. I'm not.
That's pretty good.
But
That's
good. He's like the main dude, and he's like the only one left in the band. So it's not all these other like 40-year-old younger people, and he's up there with like his little outfit on and like Suspiria shirt, and like all these like young people just fucking rocking out. He's probably like in his like 70s now.
Respects. That's like Queen with Adam Lambert.
But like reverse.
Yeah.
It's like if Freddie Mercury was left and he was just playing with like.
Hot take, that would be fine.
That'd be better.
Yeah.
Ooh. But it's funny because there's moments in the movie where they don't play music. Like there's no music in the movie. So they'd just be jamming out. You're like, fuck yeah. And then they just watch the movie with you. One of the band members was like asleep on stage.
I love that.
And then the music coming up, they're like, all right, there we go.
That's like Rocky Horror if they just like hung out.
Yeah.
You know? They're just like, we don't really love this.
Like the lights didn't dim on the band. It just kept it on them the entire time.
Oh no.
I will want to call out someone though. Whoever brought their girlfriend, wife, date, mom, whoever she was to you, to that thing, how dare you? Because this woman sat right next to us and was losing it the entire time.
Happy?
No, like
upset,
terrified, going like, whole movie, Jamie, there was a scene where they're like walking down a hallway.
That was me.
And then Jamie's going.
You didn't actually know I was there, but that was me. I was
like,
there.
is this part of the ambiance? Did they like put her in here just to like scream during the entire film?
That's so funny. Watch us now. We're gonna watch it. And I'm
just
like,
that
the whole time.
That would end the podcast, Jamie. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's
but
so
it was great.
funny.
Otherwise,
yeah.
It was seemed like a very nice hat. He just seemed very happy to see everyone.
Sick.
There were seats because there's a whole movie, so that you got to sit down.
Oh my god, I fuck with that. When I saw Joanna Newsom, we got to sit.
And
it was
we
good.
stand, not stand. We stand.
Sitting.
Yeah.
A sitting concert?
A sitting concert.
Oh my gosh, we do. We truly do.
You either are in the pit or you're sitting down. Those are the two options.
We are old. We're old then. That makes us old. You venture into the pit for one song and then you go to the bleachers and you like catch your breath and you eat a burrito.
All the high school angsty kids are like, we have so much energy. You're like, okay.
You're like, we got one.
I
got one of these in me.
This is the
song.
See
after quarantine, dude. Maybe. I'm gonna
ready.
bust the fuck in there.
I've been hosting. I'm sorry I haven't invited you or anyone to my bedroom dance parties where I turn on
You just bang against the walls and scream. Your roommate's like...
Okay, maybe you were there.
I was in the hallway going, ah! The whole time.
This is going to be a lot funnier after we watch this movie because that sound is in this movie throughout.
Oh my god, perfect. I was in this movie too. Let me tell you about Suspiria.
Okay.
Suspiria. Eric did the research out of his brain, one, but two, just like real quick before we started watching now, on the cuff. So he's real smart.
Like less than an hour, thank you.
Yes. Suspiria is a 1977 Italian supernatural horror film.
Supernatural's back, baby.
We're back, baby. Directed by Dario Argento, who co-wrote the screenplay with Daria Nicolodi, partially based on Thomas de Quincey's 1948 essay Suspiria de Profundis. The film stars Jessica Harper as an American ballet student who transfers to a prestigious dance academy in Germany, but realizes after a series of brutal murders that the academy is a front for a supernatural conspiracy. It also features Stefania Cassini, Flavio Bucci, Miguel Bosé, Alida Valli, Ido Kier, and Joan Bennett in her final film role. Film is the first in a trilogy that Argento refers to as the Three Mothers, which also comprises Inferno and The Mother of Tears. That came out in 2007, so that's a really long-running...
That's not a good one.
I can't wait to hear about it. Hang on. Suspiria has become one of Argento's most successful feature films, featuring critical acclaim for its visual and stylistic flair, use of vibrant colors, and its score by Argento and the progressive rock band Goblin.
I was going to bring up my Goblin records too, but I felt like too much.
Yeah, okay. Tell me what you...
Before we go into Suspiria,
okay.
I have to, like, give you context for the world that you're about to enter into. Because it's a lot. And it's, like, not just, like, for the movie, but, like, there's some weird stuff in this that I didn't understand when I first watched it. I was just like, I love this. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god, Me at the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
This is a good pairing. It's like...
This might be your giant vulva. I don't know.
Finally! The name of this episode has to be Jamie's giant vulva. Yes! Oh my god.
Jamie, we did get banned. We got banned real hard.
Like a little star at the U. Ben Shapiro's gonna be like, I heard about a podcast.
Jamie's big V word.
Side note, did you see his tweet where he's like, this parade of insults against me and my wife, we understand that a marriage is more than sexual satisfaction.
Because there is
so
no...
you've never made her come. You've never made her come. Anyway,
How? What face does he... What does he...
No. We're not even venturing. You just... No.
Are you already done? Hypothetically, I have already...
No.
Next.
No, Eric. That's the scariest thing I have experienced thus
It's like
far.
the Ju-on trailer, but she lifts up the blanket and it's Ben Shapiro trying to go down.
He's like, I cannot find your vagina. I cannot.
Isn't the vulva the dangly thing in the back of your throat?
Let me...
Like that, Cardi? Hypothetically?
And this is gonna come out a few weeks after, and everyone's gonna be like, cool.
Wow, look at these boomers trying to make these fucking memes.
Oh boy. Okay, tell me.
So this is a Giallo movie. Okay. Giallo is like an Italian style horror movie usually. Okay. That's usually like a murder mystery.
Wait, you said Italian style. It's not always Italian?
There are other movies that take inspiration from, but typically Giallo is Italian only. And Giallo means yellow, which is named after the pulp novels always had like yellow covers on them.
That's cool.
So they translated that into like the genre. And it's like a genre that predated slashers, and it kind of started the slasher genre. Ooh. Because there's usually like an element of mystery. It's like usually these movies, there's like a mysterious killer, and like a man usually is trying to investigate who's doing these murders. Okay. And it's like they use like the term like
who done it?
Yeah, like black glove killer, because they usually wear like the black gloves, and then you see them choking someone or stabbing someone. Yeah. And then in the end, it's revealed it's so and so, and like it's like focused mostly on like the kills, so it's very gory, but it's very stylized. Okay. Mario Bava was kind of like the original guy who did it. And he like his like it was like freeform jazz in the background. He loved his like zooming in and zooming out, like constantly, like never stopping. Oh. The blood is just like bright red and just like over the top. So it's like so stylized that it kind of I think both makes it less realistic and disjointed from the actions that are taken, but also brings you into like this surrealistic gore level that kind of also disturbs you. And Suspiria has that where it's like, this doesn't look real.
So it feels like a dream.
Yes.
Because you're like filling in the gaps of what it is supposed to be.
Especially Dario Argento's.
Okay.
It's like this Suspiria is like the best way to go into it is thinking of it as like a dream-like movie and also like a fairy tale. Because he used
oh my god, I'm so excited to watch this movie.
He told the director of photography that he wanted it to like resemble Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
And do you know what technicolor is?
This feels like a trick question.
No, it's not.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's the type of like color film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was like super big from like the 20s to like the 50s.
Yeah, I just remember like the musicals were like a big deal. It was like now Seven Brides for Seven Brothers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and like the colors are just very, like how they produce it just makes the colors pop and it looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like gone by the 70s. It was like fading out.
Okay.
But this is like the last movie before its resurgence to use that.
And it's like back too. This is like the bisexual color scheme. We're watching the opening credits like move through right now.
Shout out Synapse for making the restoration version of this. They put it out on Blu-ray and 4K. And it looks beautiful.
I'm so excited.
So this
is it's like a weird film situation. Hopefully a giant vulva.
Hopefully.
This is
So this is directed by Dario Argento, who's one of the bigger directors out of the giallo scene. It's like him, Lucio Fulci. I think I messed his name. I forget his name. And then Mario Bava. Those are like the three big ones. Okay. Daria Nicolodi was like his partner, and she made a lot of these movies with him too.
Cool. What did she do on the film? Was she just a producer?
She was she co-wrote with him. Cool. I think she starred in Deep Red, which is the film that he did before this.
Ooh.
And they were just she was
Did they break up after this film? Because it was so
they were together for a while. But I think it does give these films, because I've watched a lot of other giallo films too, and it gives these films a little bit more of it's kind of like a Halloween thing where it is definitely like a Bale film, but it has like a feminine touch to it. It's like with like Deborah Hill, how they have like this, because like a lot of other giallo films feel very like masculine, very classic pulpy.
Like okay.
So Dario Argento, he wanted to make this originally with like there's another story that he took inspiration from, and it was with like 12-year-old girls in it. They were like, hey, guess what? If you want to try to make this movie, you can't do it with children. You hear that, Netflix? You can't do fucked up shit with children.
Netflix, if you're listening.
Anyways, so he tried to do it where it was like cult meets fairy tales, like Alice in Wonderland, and also Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Also Midsummer.
Wow. Yeah, maybe Jamie might actually like this movie.
Oh my god, if I hate it now, what do we do?
Then we gotta stop the podcast. No,
I'll pretend.
I think you will hopefully enjoy this movie. I am curious to get your take on the remake. That's like a very divisive film. I've heard people hate that movie, and I heard people love that movie.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to watch it. It's on the.
It is 3 hours long, so we got
buckle down.
But we did the director's cut of Midsommar.
Mm-hmm. Well, that took like 5 hours.
Well, guess what, Jamie?
Buckle down.
There are a few things you should know, I think, before this movie to help you like understand it. Is that this is like a very Italian style filming where they use actors from a bunch of different locations. So there's Italian actors in this, there's German actors in this, there's American actors in this.
Okay.
Everyone spoke their own language on set. They didn't really record the audio properly on set.
So they dubbed it over?
So it's like everything's dubbed.
Weird.
And
Can you tell?
You can kind of tell who's American and who's not.
Okay.
Like you could be like,
is it their voices or it's other people's voices?
It's usually like other people's voices.
Weird.
And they use a lot
That's very weird.
It's all like done like a lot of Foley stuff too.
Okay.
So a lot of people like cutting cabbages for like slashing and stuff like that.
That's so weird.
It is bizarre, and it's like I can't imagine acting in that act against someone who's just like speaking a different language.
Yeah, what?
I guess that's the Lighthouse. I guess if you're the Lighthouse.
You know what?
But before we watch this movie, like I just gave you so much context. But what did you know about this movie? Like, what prompted you to want to watch this movie?
I knew it got remade. I have read the plot, but that was of the new one. I watched the end of this one, or like scariest part of Suspiria out of context.
Did you Google that? Did you like go onto YouTube and go scary part?
No, I think I found it from like a Reddit. Someone's like, this disturbed me forever, and they like linked it from Reddit, and I watched it, and I was like, what? It's like the eyeball part. Yeah, all I know about it is that it's, from what you said, like really stylized and weird, and a lot of people, I saw a lot of discussion about the first one being not as good as this one because this one is so stylized. But that's all I know about it. That's it. I think I know the rough plot. I mean, that Wikipedia told us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it... To my knowledge, the plot isn't, like, as important as the, like, aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like style over substance, for sure.
I'll take that. That's fine.
But man, that's style.
But man, if you're going to do that, you better do it good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's all I know.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we get into this movie?
I don't think so.
Hmm?
Any warnings? Any animals?
There are maggots in it.
Ew.
Which is just a general ill factor.
Yeah, are they real maggots?
They do use real maggots, but at some point they do change it over to rice.
Oh, no. Okay, so maggots. Any other not safe for Jamie's?
Gore?
That's fine.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think you're going to be able to handle all of it. If you're able to handle Midsummer and The Lighthouse, you can handle this. And
you say that now. Let's watch this movie.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, it's time for some content warnings. We only mention these things in our discussion and we don't go into depth talking about them, but if you're watching along, content warnings for Suspiria are stylized gore, needles, maggots, and when I say that I mean like a lot of maggots, and animal death. The animal death is comically bad and it's not really realistic, but still keep an eye out if that's something you're sensitive to. Also, as always, spoilers for the movie. It's our job and it's your job to make the world a little less horrific however we can, and this is a very artsy, kind of weird stylized film, so we donated this week to Free Arts of Arizona. Free Arts uses the healing power of the arts to help abused and homeless children build resilience and learn to trust and heal in the valley. They're a really cool organization, so if you're enjoying the show, send some money their way this week, or if you're local to Arizona, you can donate wishlist items and buy them some art supplies. Hey, shout out to our new followers. So we've got quite a few new people listening to the show, and we just wanted to say hi. Thanks for hanging out. Find us on social. We'll get the details at the end of the episode. We're glad you're here. Okay, let's get into it. Eric, I have one note for you.
Wait,
The music's so good.
Yes.
You're gonna come over to my house and I'm gonna be like wearing a nightgown and have like stained glass everywhere and I'll just be like
like, oh, do you need a glass of water? Yeah, and you get up and you just spill your arms everywhere.
Oh my gosh. When did you first see this movie?
High school? Late high school.
Okay, and what'd you think when you first saw it?
I was like, this movie looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Shit, dude.
Oh, sad. I thought it looked like really cool. It was really weird. I didn't get it, but I loved it.
Okay.
And here we are. Still don't really get it.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah, Okay, let me summarize it for us. Okay. American girl goes to German ballet school. It's super rainy when she's coming in. While she's going into the school, another girl busts out and says something and runs away, and you see her run into the forest, and then she makes it to her friend's house, and then her and her friend, she gets killed. She gets chased by a... Oh, wait, who the fuck? All right. She gets chased by a killer. She gets stabbed a bunch in what I think is the worst kill of the movie. That, like, unsettled me, and the rest of it, I was like, nah, it's fine. She gets stabbed a bunch and then hung, like, thrown through a window, like the top of a ceiling and hung. And then her friend dies, gets impaled by the glass falling. So that girl's dead. Susie is our protagonist. She makes it to ballet school. She's there. Everyone's a little bit weird. She's going to stay with one of the other students, but then they're like, just kidding, you're staying on campus with us. And then she falls faint in her first ballet class. And then she starts bleeding out of her nose and mouth. And they're like, okay, she's hemorrhaging. So now she's on a special weird diet, which looked like bland food and then a giant glass of red wine
My
every
quarantine diet.
Oh no. You got like 5 saltines and a box of wine.
Unseasoned filleted fish.
Yeah, that was gnarly. And so she gets this meal served to her. And she has an inquisitive roommate who's like, the teachers don't actually leave. They stay here. Where
You do
go?
that thing where, like, you just count people's footsteps at night.
Yeah, and they did that. But Susie's been, like, she was obviously getting, like, drugged through the wine. So then she is, like, in a sleep state. And then her friend is telling her about this stuff. And then her friend is like, I gotta go. I've counted the footsteps. Oh no! And then her...
What if the teachers were just like fucking with her and just like, or like...
yeah. Before that, there's their piano player for their ballet classes is blind, and his dog bites this tiny pilgrim boy who is
He's back, our favorite character.
Favorite little pilgrim boy. And they're like, get out of here, fuck you and your dog. And then he leaves, and then he
says, fuck you.
Yeah, and then he says, fuck you. And then what does he say? He's like, I'm blind, I'm not deaf. Get it? I'm not deaf!
Got it? I'm gonna go look at some weird German dancing. Get it?
He leaves. And then his dog is possessed and kills him, which was... I thought was going to be gnarly, but I peeked. When Eric said close my eyes, I peeked. It was like a hand puppet, very clearly. Yeah. That was fine. So, second kill of the movie, that guy. Or third, I guess.
It was like if Kermit ever turned against us.
Dark Kermit. Evil Kermit. They already did it. And then the friend is like, Susie passes out, and she's like, oh my god, no, I've been taking these notes, and someone stole my notes, and now they know! So then she starts running through, and then someone with a knife is coming after her. So she stacks a bunch of boxes. She runs into, like, the forbidden part of the state, I guess. Stacks a bunch of boxes, hops through a tiny window, inexplicably makes it through the window, and then launches herself into a pile of barbed wire on the ground. No. But it doesn't look like anything. It looks like guitar strings. And then she rolls around a little bit, and then she gets stabbed. Right?
Throat cut.
And then she's dead.
There's the cat eye guy. Person.
Yeah. And then, in the beginning with the girl running away, she was looking out the window, and then there was, like, eyes staring back at her, and then it grabbed and it slammed her head through the glass, and then stabbed her, and I had no clue what was going on there. Okay. So, friend is dead. An original girl who ran away is dead. Piano player is dead.
I'm closer. Wait, no, that's not Piano Man.
How dare you besmirch the name of William Joel in this way?
William Joel?
How dare you?
William Jolthin.
So Susie's like, where'd my friend go? And then she finds a psychiatrist who the friend used to see, talks to him, gets an incredible info dump where he literally tags himself out and tags in another guy. He's like, let me tell you all about the problems of that estate, but before I do that, let me get my friend.
You make fun of it, Jamie, but sometimes when I'm going through these backgrounds and all this information, sometimes I wish I could just tap in somebody to tell me.
My god. Well, also,
I feel like I'll finish this, Jamie, but hold on.
This is us. I feel like we would be that person in the movie. They'd be like, can you tell me a lot about this niche subject?
Yeah, you're Jessica Harper.
Like, boy,
and then I'm
could
like...
I? No, not you, me too. I'm also that person. Not for this, but... So she finds out that there was an old Greek immigrant woman named Helena Marcos, and witches get their material goods through harming other people, and then she amassed a bunch of wealth, and it used to be a study for the occult, and then they changed that, and now it was a dance school.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change your career path.
Yeah, yep, and so she is like, fuck. Witches. And then she comes back, and then everyone's gone, they're like, oh, everyone's gone except for me. And so then she snoops, and then she remembers what she saw the girl leaving say, which was like, blue iris, I saw what's behind the door. And so then there's a secret door, and she makes it through, and then she finds a witch ceremony going on. And then they're like, we're gonna kill that American bitch! Ah! And then she like drinks wine, and she's like, pain, death! And then she's like, ah! And then she goes into a room, and then there's I forgot about the sleeping in the very beginning. Maggot warning. For the beginning of the movie, there's maggots all over everybody, and they're like, oh my god, why are there maggots? And then they'll have to sleep on the floor. And then the nosy friend from at the very beginning, she's like, the teachers don't actually leave. I heard her breathing weird. It's someone sleeping right behind us, the directress. But it turns out that's Helena Marcos, right? So she's breathing behind a curtain, and then she's like, you want to kill me? Yeah, you're never gonna kill me. Side
note, too, I do love the idea that it's like, there is a powerful witch, and this is her coven. But she fucking hates maggots. Like she had to move downstairs. This ancient, powerful, invisible
Is that what
witch.
happened?
I guess she just had to go downstairs. Maybe it was like to establish a connection between the two of them.
Maybe
some hereditary witch shit where it's just like very convoluted.
It's very funny.
But it does feel like she's just like, I have standards.
We saw her nails. She has standards.
She goes to the manicure. The nail salon loves her.
So Susie is in this room and she pulls back the curtain. And the witch isn't there, and she's like, "You want to kill me? Hell's behind that door. Now you see the living dead." She literally talks like that, and then that's how she sounded.
Like a Bostonian accent.
Well, I did my best. She has like a crazy voice, and then her friend who was killed in like the barbed wire and slashed up and has like a crazy face runs through with like a knife, and she's gonna stab her. So her friend is like reanimated, but then Susie is like, "No." And then she sees the invisible outline of the witch and she stabs her. And then we get to see the witch and she's covered in like muck and guck and like moss and stuff.
That's just old lady stuff.
But she has baddie Instagram nails, like long ass, like 3-inch black coffin nails. And I was like, hell yeah. And then she kills her.
Who kills who?
Susie kills the head witch. And then we don't know what happened to her friend. And then Susie just runs and screams and runs around and everything's falling apart. She sees the coven is dying.
Yeah.
And they're all like choking and bleeding and whatever. And then so Susie is able to bust out. So in a shot very similar to the one girl leaving, she busts out of the front door. It's raining really heavily. Susie starts laughing, and then the building lights on fire. End of film. Is that the music? You gotta do your best Goblin. It's very good. That's a movie. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's not plot. It's like complicated, but not.
Not really. That made it sound more complicated than it was. Watching it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I accept it.
You follow through with everything. They really didn't need like the exposition dump. But we'll get into that. Jamie, what did you think of this movie?
I think it was beautiful, first of all. The set, I wanted to live there. Literally every room, I was like, oh my god, I want this room!
Jamie was just taking pictures, she's taking notes, she's redesigning her whole house to be Suspiria.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The color was the best part of the movie. The music was really, really good. I wanted more witch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Little light on the plot. But we didn't watch it for the plot. We watched it for the wearing a nightgown and running through the house in technicolor. That's what I watched it for, and I got that.
You got that, all right.
So I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I don't know. I need to digest it a little bit. But initial reaction was it was beautiful and it's visually like so fucking rad. I don't think it was scary.
Right.
Yeah. What do you tell me about the movie? What do you think about it? Not enough vaginas. I don't think we had a vulva, unless I missed it.
We did not. But Jamie, just wait for the sequel. Just not the sequel, but the remake.
The remake? Okay.
Oh man,
that's the one.
That's
because I knew the plot of the. I knew the plot of the remake, and I was like, "Where's all that?"
Okay.
I was like, "Wait, so isn't she supposed to become the head witch? Like, I guess she just did. Did she? By killing her?
No.
Yeah. So
but
I was like,
that's not the plot of the new movie either.
Isn't it? Isn't she like the spoilers for the new remake? Isn't she like actually the witch the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. What? Tell me more. Tell me about the movie. Let me. I gotta sip on it for a little bit.
Okay. So like in the context, I think this movie definitely like stands out of the giallo genre. A lot of them are just like straightforward, like murder mystery narratives.
Mm-hmm.
Dario Argento, I think, was like kind of stood out. He did a lot of those, but then he like, there's Deep Red that came out before this, which was pretty much like there's a psychic involved in like murders, and then she was trying to figure it out. There's a creepy doll in it, which everyone loves. Annabelle, what up?
Annabelle's always with us.
Annabelle's always with us. But yeah, so there's this movie, and then the sequel Inferno just like kind of like dives even more so into the dreamlike like film.
Okay.
Like it's more stylized somehow, and it's more dreamy.
Yeah.
And people kind of are mixed on it. Like some people really like it, some people are kind of neutral to it. I think it's pretty good. It does have a lot more animal murder in it. That's pretty tragic and horrible, and then we'll never watch it because Jamie wouldn't.
Yeah, it's going to be a no from me.
I never saw the third one because I heard it's awful. And it was made in 2007.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I think he like had his stride
2007 is not a good time for movies.
70s to 80s. Yeah, that's
yeah, it wasn't. No one's ever like, that classic year film.
Yeah. This one definitely, I think, like, it's unique. It's just like from like the traditional giallo into like the surrealness. It's just like the perfect blend.
Yeah. Although, I feel like this was like a gift set on Tumblr. Is what I feel like it was. You know, I would see it like I wish there had been a little bit more plot, I think. I wanted some more witch. They didn't even do anything spooky.
They set up witches, they set up a dance school, no dancing.
Yeah, no dancing. Witches. Yeah, I wanted some ballet. They didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I did like the way in the beginning. I was really actually unnerved by the beginning. I was like, ooh, this is the whole movie. Ooh.
Yeah.
But the way it like cut, because it's like she's in different places. It like keeps cutting and she's in different places, and then cutting her, and then I was like, what is going on? But that definitely felt like a dream, like the way that a dream feels. Who's killing them?
I think it's like a demon, like they're like summoning a creature to do.
Oh, okay. He had like super hairy arms. The guy like reaches through a window like for the first kill.
Like the poster of Cats.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was just making an association there. Did he have? He did have cat eyes.
Yeah, cat eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's vague. It doesn't like it's weird because it explains so much. It's Nightman.
Ah!
and Jessica.
Oh my God! Susie, can we mash it up?
Where she's like looking through the window and then it's just
yeah.
We just have Nightman playing the back.
Yes.
I can do my best.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's a hard movie to talk about, right? Because there's not much there. It's like there's a lot there, but it's just like saying over and over again how good it looks.
Yeah, I love. I wish more movies use color like that.
Mm-hmm. I
love the way it looks.
I think if he had successfully created a trilogy that was more beloved, there'd be more discussion around it. Because this movie could have been like a good starting point, and then they can get more into the sauce in like the next installments. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they do in like the third one, but like it does feel like in like the second one, he's like, okay, you're just doing some loose connection style stuff.
Got it. Yeah, I wanted it. Yeah, I think I needed a little bit more meat on the bones, but I did really enjoy watching it. The visuals were worth watching it alone, and the music slaps, and I will be listening to it.
Oh, I can't wait for James.
I will be listening to it.
Working. Yeah. Welcome to my world now.
That's Eric's work from home.
Yeah, just put the Goblin's greatest hits on. Just be like, all right, just sip my coffee in the morning. Turn on the red lights. That audio
is probably horrible.
But see, that new one has, I think, a better balance. Because people have said that they've liked the new one better than the old one. And some people have said vice versa. The new one definitely adds more. It's like, it's also mysterious and kind of convoluted. But there's like there's stuff there to like dissect and digest.
Yeah.
And this one, it's very much like it's like vague and dreamlike, but it's not in the sense of like a Lynch film or like Lighthouse where it's like vague and you're not like, oh, like let's think about this and dissect it because it was vague, so we need to figure it out. But like this movie is just like, it's not necessarily, it's like vague, but it's not in the sense of like, oh, what's there. It's
what's
just,
underneath? It's like, no, that was it.
Nah, it was a witch. Because she literally goes and finds the psychiatrist and he's like, yeah, witches. And
he's like, oh, those are witches.
Let me get my older friend with bigger eyebrows over. And then he's like, it's also witches.
Eric's not even making that up at all. That's not even exaggerated.
No, nor is his eyebrows.
I found a Vox article that talks about the use of the color red. I think it was kind of interesting if we're comparing this to The Lighthouse, the way that The Lighthouse used black. I think this film used red. And it's talking about like red and color as setting the like plot. And
again, we did watch it on the new restoration of the film from Synapse Films, not sponsored. But, I mean, if you want to. Probably not. No, you know what? I'll say this. Synapse put out Suspiria. And I was like, I haven't heard of this label because there's like Arrow Video, Scream Factory, Criterion. Like, those are big boys.
Yeah.
And then Synapse was putting out Suspiria Restoration. I was like, sick. What else have they put out? And it's mostly like porn shit. So, like, there's a guy
not sponsored
in there where it was just like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
I think they're the company that sends me all the movies for free at work.
Oh, at work? Oh my God, we have
a Severance.
Oh shit.
They're the
we
ones
talked about that in like the first episode.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They're like Nazi werewolf women, which is a famous one.
Oh.
But they put out some good stuff in between, so it's fine.
Well, I think that I definitely could see, like, most of this movie is a young woman running around gasping at things in a beautiful, like, weirdly colored thing running away and then getting murdered. That's like it. That happens like 3 times. Definitely like you said like the famous Snow White scene where she's in the forest and she's like, oh no, and like running around.
Her arms like wailing around.
Yeah, I don't think the acting was good, but I don't think it was supposed to be good, right?
I think it adds to the element of it because it's like, it's so bizarre. Like the acting is heightened and I mean...
And the voiceover is like very distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, everything's like so like disjointed. Like you can never like put yourself in the movie. You're constantly watching like a painting.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, it also felt like in the same way The Lighthouse did a little bit. If The Lighthouse was like good actors doing a play scene together, this is like kind of bad actors doing a play scene together.
Like 2 actors who don't speak the same language, just saying lines at each other, and they're like...
Yeah! I think that this didn't have... I feel like the aesthetic was so beautiful, but it didn't have enough senselessness for me to really get into it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I can only compare it to The Lighthouse so far, but just like it was so bizarre and weird. I was just like, wow, what's happening? And for this, I was like, no, I get what's happening, but like, okay, I see it.
Let's go into like
an
art museum and like getting into like the realism section.
Yeah, I felt very observational watching it. I didn't feel very like reactionary watching it. I was just like, I see, which I don't know if it is like the gut reaction. I don't know. What do you think this is like influenced?
I was thinking about that.
Because it's kind of its own thing.
It's like, I guess you could say, because in the 80s they definitely like started going into the blues and the pinks a little bit more. And the giallo genre in general. Whoa.
Ooh. Say that again 5 times fast.
The giallo genre.
It's all Goblin. It's all Goblin time.
He was just trying to say it like 10 times fast. He just got into that. You can't see it, but me and Jamie have like a Goblin dance going on every time.
We'll post it on Instagram.
We'll show you how to do it. It's just arms.
A tutorial.
You stick your elbows up and you just start pushing down.
You're already doing it. If you're not doing it right now with us, you're not a real fan.
Wait, baby, that's part of the Goblin dance. Everyone does it differently. So yeah, I'm
still going.
Jamie's still going. So it's like in general, the giallo genre in general influenced slasher movies. So there's a little bit of that, and I think that's, and you see some of the blood effects and some of the coloring kind of trickle into some movies. I'm sure they're kind of maybe taking influence from that, maybe taking influence from movies that took influence from that. And then the surrealism aspect. Surrealism has always been a weird genre in movies because I feel like nobody ever tries to like replicate it unless you're like David Lynch and what's his face? What's that Mother's Face guy's name? Tries to rip you off. I forget his name.
I don't know.
The guy who did Black Swan. Fuck.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't seen Black Swan.
It's
Is there dancing in it?
There's a lot more. Hey, Jamie, there's a lot more dancing in that one. Jamie did say at the very end of the movie, she's like, there's a lot of dancing in there, huh? Which the next movie is, there we go, Darren Aronofsky. He dated Jennifer Lawrence on Mother and then broke up. I hate his fucking...
Oh, wait, he did Mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's... What you were talking about with David Lynch, that's how I feel about him. Where she's like, isn't this weird? He's like the weird Christopher Nolan. I put them in the same category.
Oh no, that's even worse. Like, edgy Christopher Nolan?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like some bro dog being like, yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Ah, so us.
Yeah. Bro dog
We're
thinkers.
too smart to think through it. See, we're so smart that we actually circle back to being dumb. Because we see it's highbrow and we're like, not for me, thanks. I see what you're doing here and I don't like it.
Give me my Technicolor witch movie, thank you very much.
I need more witches though. We gotta keep talking about this movie. We keep talking about anything else.
I think this is it. We don't have to make this
a lot. It definitely felt okay. So this definitely did feel like a novella style. This would be like a spooky romance novel cover, and it's like her like swooning in her nightgown with like the weird colors and then like the blood splatter. So like when we were talking just now, I started thinking about it in terms of like this influenced slashers, but this was influenced by like pulpy books. Right. Which I know is directly what it is, but I think that helps, like, set plot expectations. If you're watching it, you know, it's just like, it makes sense. It all tracks. So I found an article. It's on a website called Benefit of the Doubt. It's someone's blog. I can tell you who. It's Jesse M's blog. So this is just some dude who thought about this movie.
Shout out to Jesse M.
Jesse M? I like what you said about this movie. It says, the world is a place where intense colors and mental states, discordant music, and spatial continuity all blend together into a fevered dreamscape of the broken mind.
Ooh.
It's a strange, unpredictable, desperate piece of filmmaking intent on frustrating our expectations at the turn of every scene. And it's like, he didn't care about the audience, he didn't care about narrative consistency or spatial logic, twist endings or setups. He didn't care about literally anything. He just wanted to... It's like, he's such an advanced filmmaker, why does he inflict bad timing and can't be staging on us at every turn? We have to accept these things and absorb them as part of a film where Argento has other things to worry about. His style, his scope, his sense of time and space, and his devious rhythms, accompanied by Goblin's discordant prog. I like that a lot. It's talking about how the building doesn't feel like a real place. It just feels like a bunch of set pieces. And I even said that too. I was like, this isn't like a real building. Like, where are we?
Yeah.
And like, even the front of it, it's like in a weird courtyard, and it just looks like the front of a building. So it's like, that could just be like a prop, you know? So I guess I wasn't thinking about that as something the movie is doing on purpose, but I like that a lot as an idea.
It's something that Kubrick plays around with a lot in The Shining, with like spatial awareness.
Yeah.
Where it's like very subtly like things don't line up, but you don't really like get that until you really like, wait, if you like were to draw out this place.
It's lost on me.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Jamie's worst nightmare. You would just think that about a normal hallway.
Literally, I'm like, this is it. I have really bad spatial awareness. I don't know. Have we talked about this on the podcast?
Well, now we have, for sure.
I like can't visualize shapes in my mind. I failed geometry. When I worked in restaurants, they'd show me floor plans, and I'd be like, this is nothing. I don't know what this means. Like, I just can't. My brain can't put it together. Seeing eye, you know, like those, find the hidden shape in here. No, I can't, and can't find anything. So, this is just what my mind looks like. Yep. This is me walking through IKEA.
Like, this is normal.
Like, wow, where am I?
Well, I feel like I'm closer to you already, Jamie. This is crazy.
Now you understand. It was this?
This is the movie that brought us together. Before you were a complete stranger, but now.
Now you get it.
Now I get the goblin.
Now mentally... I'm making the goblin noises, wandering around hallways, not knowing where I am. Yeah. That's actually pretty accurate.
That actually does. I remember I had a similar situation as the main character in this movie of walking down the hallway with creepy music blasting. I remember we were staying at one of the local resorts here.
Okay.
And
you said we like you and I were. And I was like, I don't know this story.
Sorry, me and family? I can't remember who. It was either with friends or it was for work. Because I was at this hotel for multiple. I think it was with friends.
Okay.
And it was like the one friend's mom had just like gotten several hotel rooms and was like, hey, you should invite your friends and go to the pool.
Uh-oh.
And so then we went, and then we were.
That's how fucking around happens.
That's how you get lost in a hallway. And you don't know where you're going, and it's like late at night, and like the they decided the proper music for this setting is just like quiet pan flute noises. And he's got he's like, and you're just like, nobody's around.
You were wearing a nightgown.
I was in a nightgown. My arms were out of the air. Cat eyes everywhere.
How drunk were you?
Completely sober.
Oh no, even worse.
Yeah, very spooky. I wish I was drunk. I might have a good time with it.
You're like, hey.
This music slaps.
This analysis also talks about House of Leaves, which I don't think, have you read it? We've talked about it. Yeah, I tried to read it, also could not hang. But that book talks about, like, I've heard it described as spooky infinite jest, but it like talks about spaces that can't exist within a house, like subspaces or like weird portals or whatever.
You know what all this sounds like to me?
What?
Your favorite boy, David Lynch.
I maybe I haven't seen enough David Lynch to like.
In his like in the newest Twin Peaks series, like this is a lot of like him mostly not giving a shit what people want. He's not your friend. He's usually kind of your enemy. Yeah. And then just like dealing with
the
like
series ends when you get to kill David Lynch, but you have to do it.
Yeah, but it's really hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
And you're like,
this didn't feel self-congratulatory in the way that I think a lot of these movies could. It didn't feel like, isn't this weird. It was just like doing it.
It feels like he was just putting together a piece and being like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking show this piece. You're gonna be in this room. You're gonna be talking about secret irises. You know what's right next to you? The secret irises.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Just look left.
I just personally think plot matters a little bit more. Also, like, having the actors all randomly not, you know, like, not be on the same page and be speaking different languages.
Yeah.
It shows that this movie is not... The movie is a set piece for the set.
Yes.
It's not... The acting is the set piece.
It's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, thanks.
I think a lot of people...
It only took me 52 minutes.
Fucking nailing it. So, I can go over into some little facts real quick. Suspiria comes from Suspirium, which is sighs in Latin.
Okay.
And it's Mater Suspirium, which means mother of sighs.
Okay.
And it's the three mothers. And so this is the first mother, and she's the mother of sighs. Hence why she went...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which me and Jamie did have a hard discussion because she was worried that she will feel like
yeah,
Mother Superior.
I snore sometimes, I've been told.
And this is what happens.
I guess.
And there's just two
long ass nails, looking like a bog queen.
College girls just being like, "Wow, she fucking snores."
Yeah, so rude. Also, that's so funny. That's like the head witch bitch in charge, and you're like, "This bitch is snoring." Like,
see her? She fucking runs the school. Just look
Yeah.
through the curtain. I don't know. Be a little bit more snaky, a little bit more Snoopy.
Yeah, come on.
Get in there. It's made for.
I thought the killer was gonna be the creepy guy. Also,
Yeah.
Pablo.
And that's the thing that's interesting about this movie too. Is usually with giallo films I've seen, it's one person and it's like the person you've known the entire time.
That's what I was waiting for.
But it's like none of the. It's like all of the people, but none of the people.
Yeah. So
like
none of
them
all
are the
other
killers.
students in on it?
No, I don't think so.
Just the head people.
And just like their covens, and they're kind of using the school as like a way
front.
to like.
It's money laundering.
Yeah.
I see.
But for like souls.
Ooh, see, that makes it sound cooler.
Soul laundering.
Okay. Tell me, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say soul laundering.
No, what did you guys do?
This movie was made for 1.43 billion.
Whoa, no.
Euros.
Oh, billion.
Billion? That's not right. Maybe what's Italian money?
What is Italian money? See, this is why they're not letting us in.
This is why we're smart.
Yeah, do you guys remember when we just said we're dumb? We're so smart that we're dumb. Maybe we're just dumb sometimes.
The lira, Italian lira.
Wow, I've never heard that. Okay.
Me neither. But
so that's how much it was. The film's American release was commercially successful, and it was proven to be Fox's 7th highest grossing release of the year in theatrical rentals.
All right.
And it's the highest grossing Argento film.
Oh, we gotta talk about the bat.
She kills a bat. It sucks. This bat flies
who
through.
fucking...
It's like a bat puppet, and it like flies through the window, and it just absolutely kicks her ass. And then the sound effects are like, whoop, 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 whoop. And she's like, ah, ah. And the bat's like, bah, 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 bah. And the bat's just like really wailing on her.
Yeah.
And then she throws a towel over it and smushes it with a stool, which I also didn't watch. But Eric was like, wow, really a WWE kind of situation here.
Just give him the chair.
You're so fucking rude. If you have a towel over it, just toss it outside.
That's what I was like. Oh, she doesn't kill the animal, and then it's like, no, she just fucking.
No, she just fucking wallops. Oh yeah, we'll warn about it in the middle before you get to this point. So you've already heard this. The blind guy's dog kills him. It's very silly, but still probably don't watch it. The bat gets whooped, but whoops her ass first. Lots of maggots. There's those maggots in the beginning, and
they
then
really love to just keep that.
Just for no reason. There were so many fucking maggots.
You could have talked about witches so much in between the time that they were just looking at maggots.
Yeah, right? Just be like, oh my god, maggots are a sign of witches. That's so fucking weird, right?
Yeah. Instead, they're just like, oh, there's maggots. Let's look at these.
Yeah,
oh, where do they go?
There's too many
There's
maggots.
so many. It triggered me. I don't like bugs.
He does, though.
I'm sorry to any bugs who listen to this podcast.
Sorry, bugs, if you're listening, stop it.
Stop what you doing.
Get some help. Get a job. Go pick something up.
Serve your queen. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's mostly it, though. And then, like, the gore is very surreal. I think the kill in the beginning is the worst one. Didn't like the end. Didn't like her face. It reminded me of the Roger Rabbit's face at the end.
For Judge.
With the dagger eyes. Yeah. I was wondering why her eyes look so weird, and I guess it was the needles.
Yeah, the needles
Stop. Eric just held his hands up. No. I'm gonna I'm gonna send you bug gifts later.
I'll send you needle gifts later.
No! Okay, well, we did.
I'm gonna ask you, what would you rate on the spookometer?
I would give this a 3. It was unnerving. Like, the gore, you know it's fake, but it still was unnerving. And if you were unnerved, I didn't like the face the friend was making at the end when she came back undead. I didn't like it at all.
I thought
Yeah, I didn't like it. What happened to her eyeballs?
She got
nothing.
Needles pierced in them.
What?
Yeah, and like into the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no, wood shit.
Ow! Ugh. Yeah, I didn't like what her face was. I have watched that scene, but I couldn't really remember. I just remembered someone making a scary face. I thought she was gonna get stabbed in the eyes. I thought Susie was gonna get stabbed in the eyes.
Oh fuck, that's a dark ending.
I know. That's what I thought the ending was. I'm glad it wasn't. But yeah, some of it was unnerving a little bit. It wasn't like, maybe give it like a 2.5. I'm gonna stick with my 3. You know, I'm gonna stand behind my 3.
That puts it. You rated Midsummer at 3.25, and then Halloween at 3.5.
Okay.
And it's scarier than Lighthouse, which you gave a 2.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay, that tracks. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it.
Still, the scariest movie is Conjuring with a 5.
Yeah.
Also tracks. We gotta watch Conjuring 2.
Host.
We should just skip to Conjuring 2.
Host was also a 5.
Host you gave 4.5.
For scares?
Yes.
Oh, it was us combined.
Yes.
That's fine.
Brought you down.
Wow, really math heavy episode, huh?
Which is funny. During the film, watching it, Jamie's like, "You hear this Goblin music? This is what goes in my head when we're doing math."
Trying to do math.
It's a tough one for Jamie. Can she do it, folks?
Oh no, gut reaction.
Yeah.
It's like a 2.5.
Oh my gosh!
I know. I know. Hear me out. It's because it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like we were watching, like I said, like it just felt like we were watching a spectacle, which isn't bad, but it didn't feel like, I don't know, it didn't feel like substantial enough for me to even start like digging my brain into. Is that rude?
Would you watch it? Would you watch it again?
I'd watch it again. Yeah, I definitely think it's rewatchable. I enjoyed watching it, but I wasn't like captivated by it. I was more just like looking at what they were doing, but I wasn't. The set pieces took me out far enough. Like I feel like in my brain I'm rating it like on enjoyability as like a film, and when I do that for the other ones, it's been like plot wise. Mm-hmm. But this was like, the good thing about this movie isn't anything except for the design, in my opinion, like the music and the sets. But I love those. I would give those like a 4 or a 5 if I could rate like the aesthetics, but the movie itself is not. Maybe I'm just too separate in my thinking, but that was the truth.
All right, there we go. We're here to hear, guys.
What would you give it, Eric?
Not a 2.5.
What would you give it?
Like a 4.
Whoa! Just because of the aesthetics?
I think it's just like, I don't know, like not every movie.
I want to know why you like it. Tell me, like I didn't dislike it, but I just am not feeling strongly about it. I think is also a problem.
Yeah.
You know, because like, right, especially for a horror movie.
Yeah. So like, I would reserve 5s if like I was doing the rating for like the movies that I know would like stick with me and like elevated something about it. Like when there's some of those movies, like I'm sure it was like with Alien for you, where you watch that movie and you're like, that was something. That was like another level. That changed something about like the way I see films or like how I think about films.
Yeah, this was not that for me.
No, of course. Yeah.
But was it for you?
No. I really like this movie, but I like, it's like a care package of a movie, right? Where it's got like little like elements that you like kind of like pull out and you're like, I like this, I like this. It's like, I like watching this movie, it looks good. I like looking at photos of this movie because it looks good. I like listening to the soundtrack because the soundtrack's good. I like going to see a live performance because it's cool and weird. I like putting it on, watching it with friends because it's a good like background movie to put on while like you talk with your friends while you just see.
This would be a great party movie. Yeah.
And just like I don't own too many Blu-rays, but the reason why I went after this one is
it was beautiful
because it just looks. It's just for the aesthetic, and I don't think every movie necessarily like movies can achieve different goals. Some of them are make you think. Some of them are just tell somebody else's story. Some of them are just a visual medium and just play out a visual medium story, and that's what this is. It's just a visual play that has enough of a story to like link it all together.
Yeah.
The only part I don't like in this movie is when she goes and meets with Udo Kier and Bushy Brow Span, and they're just like, not me. It just is unnecessary, and it's just like it goes to a secondary location. She never goes to a secondary location. Just like in like the broad daylight, and it just like it defeats everything in the movie because it's this coven slowly having control over this girl, but then she's able to just go out and talk to a professor, and then comes back.
It's actually very interesting that it does. Yeah, it like breaks you out of. It's like a really weird reminder that everything that you thought is going on in there is like the world is still going.
Yeah.
And then she goes back on purpose to this like weird, like liminal space of like weird walls and colors and whatever. Yeah, I agree that was really weird. I feel like she should have read that on like a scroll she found in the bathroom or something.
Or not. You just don't need it.
Yeah, or like a witch tells her in a dream or something,
or
like cool. Yeah, or like the friend tells her or something.
The only cool part about it is that
I found this witch's journal.
It shows that the world is normal and everything you're seeing in this movie is abnormal. Like, cause like
I think I actually like that about it. Now that you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it also gives context for the beginning when she's coming from the airport. The airport looks normal, but as she's going through those doors, that's where the lighting and the music is. Which is one of my favorite scenes. I don't know if you remember, but like as she's like walking, and then it cuts the door and the music starts.
Yeah, playing, I really liked it.
And it cuts back and it's normal, and she's like, it's a storybook. She's like, or a fairy tale. She's like entering this world, and immediately, even in the taxi, she's like going to her destination. She's like slowly being enveloped by this universe, like the dark woods. But it's just kind of like a weird placement where it's just like towards the end, she just boop gets out of there. It's like, hey, normal world. It's like, yeah, witches. She's like crazy. Anyways, going back.
Yeah.
And then shit like kicks off right after that, which I always forget that it's like literally right after that all this shit happens.
Yeah, I think that it just it wasn't enough. I need a little bit more from it than that, and I guess maybe that's my being too literal, or maybe that's me being bad at visuals. Maybe that's me being bad at like visually placing things, but I definitely enjoyed watching it. I would watch it again. I'm excited to make some art about it and go look at the art. And I think it's a good movie on that front, but like the way that if I gave it a higher rating, it wouldn't feel truthful because I haven't been rating the other movies on that alone. I feel like I've been rating the movies on like my gut reaction to them, like the way they make me think about stuff.
I think that's easy because the second you start trying to like put a system in place of how to rate it, that's when you're
it's just been like my core gut, and my gut says not super high, but I do think this isn't a very compelling review for someone to watch it. But if you're listening, you should watch it, or at least watch some parts of it.
Put it on, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer, and if you liked what you saw, and you just have some time to like throw on a movie and just sit back and chill.
Also, there was like a weird narrator at the beginning, and then it disappeared.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's in the American.
The American version. Yeah. They're like, okay, we gotta. Yeah. Okay. I hope I didn't break your heart, Eric.
No.
You have a shirt on.
Rip it off.
No. I would love to, if there's ever an event like that here again, if the world opens back up, I'd love to go.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those events because there's been so many concerts I've missed in my life.
Are you really glad you went to that one?
John Carpenter came. I missed him.
Oh.
David Byrne was another one that I missed.
If I go see John Carpenter, I'm going to be like, you son of a bitch! You made me so sad!
No! He's like, he'll probably be like, oh, I'm sorry, but...
Oh, no.
But fuck you! Ah!
Kick my ass.
It's like you and the bat.
We watched it. I'm excited to watch the new one. I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah.
It was a worthy watch. And I'm probably not going to think about the plot ever again.
What plot?
What?
Have a film you're dying to talk about? Follow us on Instagram at Horrorscope Pod with 1D or on Twitter at Horrorscope Pod with 2Ds. Your horoscope for the day is your dog isn't barking. And for the first time, we actually have a bonus horoscope for you guys. If looks could kill, you best start getting ugly. Sorry, Annabelle, for disrespects. You know, we would love to have you on the podcast and talk about your movie.
Shut the fuck up. That's not an invite. I'm cutting this. I'm not leaving this audio. Why would you even stop?
No, sorry, can't do bits anymore.
thank you for not doing it, but you already invited Annabelle on the podcast.
Just to, like,
and you live here in this house.
What would she... No.
No.
What's she gonna do?
No, I'm
Come
not
at
recording
me!
anymore. No.
Fight me, Annabelle!
No.
She's gonna be on my back, and I'm just like, ah.